Wastelanders, this is Gary from The Last Ranger, and I got for you another Keeper Series knife. This is the episode 12. This is the Hogue Deka, and this is the Wharncliffe version, the Warney version of the Deka. It's in 20 CV. It's a Deka that I got originally when it first came out. Hot off the presses, I immediately bought this knife. You can see it has the original clip design. It's a deep carry, but not a super deep carry because you have the screws and then the deep carry. So I believe all Dekas from here on out, or maybe a year on out, they started replacing the clip with a traditional deep carry clip. But I didn't feel the need to update because I like the clip. I like a little bit protruding out of the pocket. It's lanyard friendly. I haven't tied a lanyard, but it's, you know, I'm just letting you know it's lanyard friendly. This is a Damascus type of G10. It's a layered G10. This is the green Damascus. You can see all the coloring, all the layers. You can see all the layer lines. Hopefully you can see that. Anyway, this is a black blade. It's pretty much held up because I've used this knife, I don't know, a long time. At least the first year of owning this knife, I carried it probably every day. And it was in the pocket a lot. This is super broke in. Super broke in. I recently sold a clip point version of this knife that wasn't broken in. I practically never carried it. I bought them both at the same time, and when I got the blade, I fell in love with the Wharncliffe version. So I've been carrying the Wharncliffe pretty much since day one. It's it often like rests on my table or in my desk drawer because I want to carry it all the time. It's super light. It's I think they were kind of competing with the Bug Out. It's a little bit heavier than the Bug Out, but not by much. I forget what, I think it's 2.2, 2.3 ounces, where the Bug Out is 1.8 or 1.9 or something. I have a Bug Out, but I hardly carry it. So this is a Hogue. It's made in USA. It's called, their crossbar lock is called the Able Lock. And I believe when they redesigned it, this Deka, they redesigned it. It's practically the same, but they redesigned it with less screws. I don't know how many of the screws got taken out. I imagine these two got taken out eventually when they redesigned it. Don't quote me on that, but I remember reading they redesigned it with less screws in there. But if you have black screws, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I kind of like seeing these screws because it's kind of a tactical knife for me, and seeing these screws makes me think that's a very strong knife, a lot stronger than a well-made and than a Bug Out. So I always use the deploy method of the thumb stud. I don't necessarily use the Able Lock to deploy it. I can do that, but it's just a really great thumb stud knife. You don't really need to flick it out with, you know, the Able Lock. You can. I usually do the Able Lock to just close it. It's a flat grind, and this pocket clip is reversible. You can see they have a plate in the right side. If I didn't say so, it was designed by Alan Elishewitz. If I remember right, he's a Marine, so he pretty much designs a lot of Hogue's knives. Yeah, this is a keeper in my series. I'm not necessarily saying this is the only Deka that I will ever own. If I have a chance and there Hogue presents a Deka that I like in magnet cut, I'll probably purchase that. Maybe I'll retire this knife. But for now, I really dig this knife. I pretty much what drove me to this is the blade and mainly the scales and the axis lock. But I wanted to have a knife that kind of competed with the Benchmade Bug Out at a lower price and made in America. So I prefer Hogue over Benchmade. There's nothing wrong with Benchmade. I prefer Hogue's designs over Benchmade. Benchmade's knives are pretty much out of my price range, normally. I buy expensive knives, but I'm very picky. I like a tactical knife. So this probably will never leave my collection unless I get a better version of it. Alright guys, I'm going to let you go. Stay tuned. I'm working on my my top knives of 2022, over $100, and I have all the knives picked out, but I'm having a hard time picking out when I play around and I do a top 3 of knives of 2022, my favorite knives of 2022, my top 3. I'm having the hardest time because all the $100 knives are pretty much my favorite, and it's hard. It's very hard to pick 3 knives. I'm having a hard time. Especially with number 1. So stick with me. I'll eventually get it out. I just have to think on it a little bit more, and hopefully you guys will agree with me. If not, that's okay. At least it was just for fun, the top 3. And if you happen to like the same knives I like, maybe you can pick a top 3 out of those. Take care, Wastelanders.
Would you look at it? Just look at it.